King Abdullah today, where the two focused on the current Israeli-Palestinian negotiations. Clifford May is president of the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. He joins me now from Washington. Clifford, good to have you on the program once again. This is not the first time that Netanyahu has paid an unannounced visit to Jordan. What's the significance of this particular trip?
Well, I think there are two items of interest. One that you've mentioned has gotten attention, which is to reassure the Jordanians that their interests will be taken into account as the negotiations go forward, assuming that, or at least continue, maybe go forward is too optimistic, with the Palestinians. The Jordanians do have concerns, they do have interests, and somebody needs to look out for them, and I think Netanyahu is saying to the Jordanian king, we do understand your interests, and we take that into account. I suspect there was another conversation that hasn't been much reported that also took place, and that has to do with Iran. The foreign minister of Iran, Javad Zarif, was recently visiting Amman. I think that is probably a cause for concern to the Israelis. What the Israelis may fear is that Jordan and other countries in the region may see Iran's rise as a major, and if not the major power in the region, as becoming increasingly inevitable because there is little faith that the negotiations underway between the U.S. and the other Western powers are not succeeding. And and it may be that accommodation with Iran is going to be sought, and I think the Israelis have some concerns over that. And of course there's also what's going on in Syria, where, as you know, you've got probably over 120,000 dead. You've got Al-Qaeda militias fighting against the Assad regime backed by Iran. You've got a huge number of refugees burdening Jordan, among other countries, but especially Jordan. I think there's probably concern about that, and I would have to guess that was also among the topics discussed.
There's no question that Jordan is a linchpin, and in terms of its geography, never mind the people in charge there, to try and help broker a deal. How big is the role of King Abdullah of Jordan in this peace agreement?
The peace agreement or the peace discussions between Israel and the Palestinians. Well, I think Jordan's role is important, and I think Jordan is an important player, though pretty much behind the scenes at this point. Don't forget, Jordan has a huge number of Palestinian refugees. It has a huge number of... Look, Jordan is a country that historically would be considered Eastern Palestine, a great portion of its population, very likely a majority, you could call Palestinians. All depends how you define it. Jordan is dependent on Israel for a lot of things, more than they would like to be, especially now. They're no longer getting energy from Egypt. They need to get fuel resources from Israel at this point. They have water problems. Israel has the technological solutions to that. And even from a security point of view, Israel is very important. People don't like to talk about this. I don't think the Jordanians necessarily do, but the fact of the matter is, if you do a simple analysis, Israel is important to Jordanian security as well. So Jordan is in a tough position in a lot of ways. It is an island of stability right now in terms of what's going on in the Middle East. Look at Iraq, look at Syria, look at Egypt, look at Libya. I think Israel wants to maintain Jordan's independence, Jordan's stability. I think that's in the U.S. interest as well.
Clifford?
So there's a great deal to discuss and worry about there.
Absolutely. We have less than 30 seconds, but our Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, is heading to Israel for his first visit as Prime Minister. He's going to visit the West Bank and Jordan as well. What role does Canada have to play in the peace talks?
I think Canada has an important role to play. I think Canada, and under Stephen Harper, has been incredibly principled about the Middle East. I think Stephen Harper understands the situation very well. I think the Canadians also have a role to play within the Anglophone world. In other words, I think there are many ways in which Canada's views can be influential on Australia, New Zealand, Britain, in a way that the U.S. perhaps can't be. So I see Stephen Harper as an honest broker, a smart man, a principled man. I think he'll be very much welcomed in Israel, and he should be welcomed everywhere in the region.
Clifford May, President of the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. Good to talk to you. Thank you.